Jarrod Horak for the RunawayHorse.com, and I'm back at my second look at the Breeders' Cup Saturday races in video format. I just went through the first 8 Breeders' Cup Saturday races in my last video, and I gave out one horse worth betting in each of those races. You can watch that one now. Last week I did my Breeders' Cup Friday horses worth betting video, and you can watch that now on my channel as well. But this one we're going to concentrate on the Breeders' Cup Classic. One other video I did last week, I did the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. I broke that one down horse by horse and gave out my top choice. So all those videos are available on my YouTube page, and you can watch them now if you're interested. And as I said in my other video, in the links I'm going to provide in this video, I was involved in some articles at HorseRacingNation.com this week, and they were talking about different Breeders' Cup races, and I was giving my opinions in those. And I'll provide those links in the description in this video. And if you're interested in my full card analysis, you can purchase that for both Breeders' Cup days at the RunawayHorse.com, and I'll provide that link as well. But let's jump right into the Breeders' Cup Classic, race 12 at Keeneland on Saturday, November 7th, 2020. For 3-year-olds and up, 1.25 miles on the main track with a $6 million purse. And in this 12th race, number 1, Tacitus, is the first one, and he's 20-1 morning line. I think everyone's very familiar with Tacitus from the Triple Crown Series of 2019, where he was placed 3rd through disqualification in the Kentucky Derby, finished a troubled second, or a wide second in the Belmont Stakes where the inside lanes were best. Then he ran the Jim Dandy and Travers, hit the board there, hit the board of the Jockey Club Gold Cup. He easily won the Suburban earlier this year, and then he was 2nd in the Grade 1 Woodward and 3rd in the Jockey Club Gold Cup Grade 1 last time. So he's run against this company a lot of times. He doesn't win often, but at 6 starts at this 1.25 mile distance, he's finished in the top 3 in all 6 with only 1 win. I think that's the key to him. He's just not quite as fast as the top contenders in this race, but he's one that hits the board in a lot of these big races. And Tacitus, I don't think he can win, but he's just the kind of horse that could finish 3rd or 4th and certainly do something in your trifectas, superfectas, even in your super high fives if you're playing those. You want to probably include a horse like Tacitus because he's going to be saving all the ground behind the speed, and some of the other horses that are going to be trying to win the race could end up getting tired, and Tacitus could go past those. He has a good record of finishing somewhere in the top 3 in these big stakes races, and Tacitus can be used underneath. The 2, Tiz the Law, definitely a win contender. A 3-year-old with 6 lifetime victories from 8 starts with a 2nd and a 3rd. His only 2 losses were at Churchill Downs. He was 2nd in the Kentucky Derby, and he was 2nd in the Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes. Now, he's one that has excellent tactical speed. His Travers speed figure at this 1.25 mile distance, that Grade 1 victory, was sensational. It was very impressive visually. It was fast as well. That was his best career speed figure. And then he regressed a bit 4 weeks later in the Kentucky Derby when he finished 2nd to Authentic. He couldn't catch that one. Now, we'll see if they maybe they go to the lead in here. There's a lot of horses that have, like Authentic likes to be up there, but he doesn't burn on the front end, Maximum Security. We have a Global Campaign, but nobody's really super fast early. Tiz the Law has that inner post, so I wouldn't be surprised, at least in the early going, if maybe Tiz the Law was able to secure the lead, and then if some of the outside horses like Authentic want to go, then maybe he'll just track them. But Tiz the Law is certainly a big win threat. The 3, by my standards, he's 10-1 morning line. He's run once at this 10 furlong distance in the Kentucky Derby in 2019. He didn't come in. He comes off of a nice win in the Ali Sheepa Stakes at 1 mile and a 16th, a Grade 2. My biggest question is going to be the distance, because he hasn't won, and as you'll notice in these races, even Tacitus has won at 1.25 miles, a Grade 2 winner. But we have a lot of Grade 1 winners at 1.25 miles in this race, and by my standards, it was 0 for 1 at the distance. That's his main problem, I think, that he's going to have to run faster at a distance that he hasn't proven that he could excel at. The 4, Tom's d'Etat, is another one that's going to have to prove that he can run a quality race at 1.25 miles. He's only run once at 1.25 miles in his career, and he finished 2nd. That was a long time ago. So he's mostly been competing at 1 mile and a 16th and 1 mile and an 8th, and even 1 mile in the Oaklawn Mile when he beat Improbable earlier this year. Now, last time in the Whitney, he lost his best chance. It was a 5-horse field. He stumbled at the start as the even money favorite, and then the pace wasn't fast, and Improbable dominated that one, and by my standards was 2nd. So probably Tom's d'Etat at worst would have been 2nd there, you would think, on his best day. He's one that he's fresh. He runs well fresh. He's got running style versatility, so as long as he doesn't stumble at the start, he should work out a good trip. He's 1 for 1 at Keeneland, and the biggest question is going to be the distance, because a lot of these horses in here, like I mentioned, have already won at 1.25 miles and proven themselves against Grade 1 horses at 1.25 miles, and Tom's d'Etat hasn't done that yet. But I don't blame those who think that he can win, especially if his odds at 6, if he's going to be 6-1 or higher, and he should be. The 5 Title Ready is 30-1 morning line for trainer Dallas Stewart. This one would be a big surprise if he did anything but maybe finish 4th. That would maybe be the best they could hope for. Last time out in the Fayette at Keeneland, a Grade 2, he rallied to finish 3rd. Wasn't a lot of pace in that race. Not a bad effort. He does like Keeneland. 4 starts, 2 wins, a 2nd and a 3rd. 1.25 miles, he's never come close to running this far. He mostly runs 1 mile and 1 1/16. And then also the Grade 1 company. So he seems up against it, and he's going to be trying to get involved in the late going. The 6 Higher Power, 20-1 morning line. John Sadler of Flavien Prat is going to ride, and he typically does ride this one. Well, this one was 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Classic last year, and he won a Grade 1, the Pacific Classic at Del Mar in 2019. And then he finished 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Classic. He was 3rd in the Awesome again, so he was in good form last year. This year he did finish 2nd in the Grade 1 Gold Cup at Santa Anita. The San Diego, he was 3rd. The Pacific Classic, he was 4th. So he's a bit below his form from last year. He has some tactical speed. On his best day, as he proved last year in the Classic, he can hit the board in a race like this. The 7 Global Campaign, 20-1 morning line. Comes off back-to-back victories in the Monmouth Cup at 1 1/8 and the Woodward at 1 1/4 when he was able to get out there and control the pace against Tacitus and 3 other rivals and just go wire to wire. And that's kind of what he did in his last 2 races. I don't think he's just going to get out there and control the pace against this group. You have Authentic, he's not going to let him go. You have Tis the Law, he's going to be making a move. So Global Campaign is going to have to really step it up. It's one thing going all the way against Tacitus, it's another trying to hold off horses like Authentic, Tis the Law, and then the later runners like even Improbable. And speaking of Improbable, he's number 8, and he's your 5-2 morning line favorite. 14 career starts, 7 wins, and 3 seconds. He's very consistent, and he's very good as a 4-year-old. Now last year, as a 3-year-old, he just couldn't get the distances of 1 1/8 or longer. He was 2nd in the Arkansas Derby. He just couldn't quite get to Omaha Beach that day. Kentucky Derby, he was 5th. He just flattened out. Preakness, same thing. He was up there. He was up to 4th in the stretch, and then he flattened out to finish 6th. Even the PA Derby, he didn't have a good trip, and he was 4th. And then they ran him in the Breeders' Cup Mile, and he finished 5th. But now this year, he's been excellent. They brought him back in the Oaklawn Mile. Tough outer post. He ran a huge race that day, stalking, taking the lead, and then Tom's d'Etat ran him down. But then on a fast track, in his last 3 starts, he won easily. The Gold Cup at Santa Anita, stalked the pace was moderate, he rolled home. The Whitney at Saratoga, again, slower pace, he tracked that pace, he rolled home easily. The Awesome again last time, the pace was fast, 5-horse field, he rallied from last to 1st to win easily going away. So that adaptability is very dangerous. If the pace is slower, he can be up on the pace. If the pace is faster, he can rally from behind. He's much more professional and mature this year, and Improbable is a big win threat in the 2020 Breeders' Cup Classic. Number 9, Authentic, could be the one to catch. If you watched my Kentucky Derby video, you know I did not like him in the Kentucky Derby, but did upgrade his chances after the scratches because a lot of horses who were going to show speed in the Kentucky Derby, they ended up not running in the Derby for one reason or another, and that left Authentic as the controlling speed. And that's exactly what he did in the Derby. He was able to get out there, control the moderate fractions, and he was able to hold off Tis the Law, who made a run at him. Nice victory there. And then in the Preakness, different pace scenario. Even though the pace was still on the moderate side, this time, 1,000 Words, his stablemate, got in front early, and then Authentic got the lead, and then right after Authentic got the lead, Swiss Skydiver came after him. So that 2-pronged attack where he didn't get that early lead, and then he was able to get it, and then right away, Swiss Skydiver attacked him, and he just was not able to outfinish her. And so the key to his success is going to be able to get out there, control the fractions, and try to steal this race. Because if he doesn't do that, and he's just allowing stalkers like Tis the Law, and there's Maximum Security, who I'll talk about in a minute, Improbable, a Global Campaign, all those horses have early pressing speed, and they're going to come after him. So I think Authentic, he does have a chance in here, but I think his only chance is to get out there and control the race, because he's not going to stalk, and outfinish the other horses. He's going to need to get out there, control the fractions, just like he did in the Kentucky Derby. If he can run like that, he's going to win. If they challenge him like they did in the Preakness, he's not going to win. So the 10 Maximum Security will round out the field. He's had a good year this year, but he was better last year. He was obviously the infamous Kentucky Derby when he was taken down, but he's right there almost all the time, even though he was taken down that day, and he did cross the line first. And he typically crosses the line first or second. So he's one that's very consistent. I don't know that 1.25 miles is his best distance, but he's one that's capable of winning at 1.25 miles. And he was winning the Haskell last year at 1 1/8 miles. The Bold Ruler at 7 furlongs. The Cigar Mile around one turn. The San Diego this year. He also won the Saudi Cup at 1 mile and an 1/8. So he's won at 7 furlongs, 1 mile, 1 1/8 miles, 1 1/16 miles, even 1.25 miles in the Grade 1 Pacific Classic. That day he was able to get out there and control the pace. In the San Diego, he stalked the pace, so he's got that early pressing versatility. In the Awesome Again, he stalked the pace and he finished second behind Improbable. Improbable blew the doors off of him that day, his stablemate. So Maximum Security is training well, though. I mean, he's coming up to this race in good order, but he's going to need to run better than he did in any of his races this year. He's probably going to have to run one of the best races of his career, speed figure-wise, if he's going to beat this field. Now, he should be up on the pace. This is an interesting race. It really is, the way that it plays out with all that tactical speed in here. This is going to be a jockey's race. We'll see how it all plays out, because a lot of horses are capable of taking the lead early. They're capable of stalking. They're capable of closing. So there's some versatility in this race, and the favorites are classy Grade 1 winners at this distance. So Maximum Security would need to step it up. As I said, Authentic has a shot if he can get out there and steal it. Improbable is the one to beat for sure. He's coming off 3 straight easy wins, and he's got versatility, and his speed figures are very solid. If you're playing exotics, use Tacitus. Tom's d'Etat could upset, I guess, if he could sit that right trip this time and not stumble at the start. But I'm going to go with Tis the Law as my top choice. I just think everything is going his way for this one. He runs well with plenty of time between starts. He's training well for this. They took him to Keeneland early. He handles 1.25 miles just fine, winning the Travers easily, and then finishing a good, clear second in the Kentucky Derby. So more time between starts now. Tactical speed. I think he's going to work out a good trip. Post 2 doesn't bother me at all. I know some people said the favorites drew to the outside. They have a tactical advantage. I don't think Tis the Law is going to have any problem from post 2. He should be able to, Manny Franco should be able to put him anywhere he wants. Maybe on the lead. I wouldn't be shocked from post 2 if no one really goes, if a couple horses just don't break the way they usually do, that they just try to go on with it from post 2, and if the pace is moderate and he can get out there, maybe they won't catch him. But Tis the Law, number 2, is my top choice in the 2020 Breeders' Cup Classic. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, make some comments in the comment section. Who do you like in the 2020 Breeders' Cup Classic? Again, I'm going to provide the links to articles that I wrote earlier this week about the Breeders' Cup races. And also, if you're interested in my full card, one more time, you can get that at therunawayhorse.com. That link will be provided as well in the description in this video. That will wrap up my Breeders' Cup look from Breeders' Cup Friday last week and then Breeders' Cup Saturday this week. Good luck with all of your Breeders' Cup races and your wagers, and I'll see you next week with the next video.